My 15M brother, 20M, is bullying our autistic sister, 8F. My brother, 20, has always been rude and abusive ever since we were kids. I still have memories of him teasing me in front of my friends, hurting me till I would bleed and stealing my things. While he's gotten a bit better, he's still generally a toxic and dangerous person. Ever since our autistic sister, 8, was born, he's targeted most of his abuse towards her. Her autism mostly gives her problems with socializing and communicating. We've been taking her to therapy to help her, but my brother is making things worse for her. She hates being touched forcefully, and whenever my brother sees her, he aggressively hugs her and makes her scream. Then when my parents get mad, he walks away laughing while my sister is now having a panic attack. He also strokes her hair like a dog and tries to cuddle with her in her bed, which makes me super uncomfortable. My sister makes lots of random noises most of the time. We've been teaching her not to make those sounds, but my brother will always try to teach her even more random noises. One time I calmly told him not to do that to her, and he started yelling and swearing at me and told me to mind my own business. When I defended my sister, he got a knife from the kitchen, put it up to my face and threatened to hurt me. He also hurts her a lot. One morning she was playing a music making game on her school computer. My brother wakes up, walks into the living room, stands right behind her for a few seconds and then slaps the back of her head. I got mad and told him he shouldn't be doing that to anyone, and yet again he told me to eat shit and walked away. My brother tries to act like he knows how to take care of our sister. He says one nice thing to her, and then believes he's the best brother ever. My parents aren't dealing with the problem, they yell at him then give up. Whenever I talk to them about the problem, they tell me to just ignore him. But I can't let him bully her like that. It's not fair. I hate seeing him do these things to her. Is there anything I can do to help defend her more? Edit, I'm overwhelmed by the support everyone has given me. I was scared to make this post, but I'm glad I pushed through. You all are so kind and made really good points. I'm looking at this situation from a new perspective, and I now know what to do. My parents aren't bad people, they just failed at raising my brother. As much as I love them, they're one of the reasons why this problem is still going on. But I talked to my mom and she wants him gone as much as I do. She said she only acts like she doesn't care because if we constantly fight back, he'll definitely hurt us. I'll admit what she's doing is only enabling his bad behavior, but it was nice to know she's doing it to protect me and my sister. I told her we need to take action, and she said without my dad's presence, there is no way we can get rid of him without things becoming serious. I plan to talk to her more later. Maybe I can convince her to take action now. My dad is currently out the country for work, but he's coming back very soon. I agreed with my mom that once he's back we can take the necessary action without anyone getting hurt. Either way, I started collecting evidence today. So if my parents don't keep true to their words, by then I'll hopefully have enough material to deal with the problem myself. Wish me luck, and God bless you all. Okay, not only is he being physically/mentally abusive to you and your sister, but you also said he's cuddled up to her in bed. This might turn into sexual abuse if it already hasn't. You need to tell your parents to wake the fuck up. Let them know if they continue to enable his behavior he's going to hurt/sexually assault your sister, and it'll be on them. Your brother has some major problems. Your parents are putting you all in jeopardy by not taking this seriously. He threatened you with a knife. He enjoys mentally and physically hurting people. I think you better have a good, hard talk with your parents. Tell them about the knife, and how he's hurting his younger sister and you. If you already have and they completely ignored you, I'd suggest telling a therapist or someone you trust. Family or trusted adult preferably. I'm really sorry that you're the one having to deal with all this. Please keep yourself safe and happy, do whatever you need to if he threatens you again. That's the problem. They already know about all the things he's done. Whenever I talk to them about it, they say that's just the way he was born and I have to accept it. They act like the things he does are just jokes, and that I'm overreacting whenever I get upset about it. I love my parents, but they're the reason this problem hasn't been solved yet. But I'll try to talk to them again. I really appreciate the advice. He threatened you with a knife and repeatedly hits her. This is not parent territory anymore. I'd get the police involved. Your brother apparently is not only a piece of shit but also a dangerous sociopath. This sounds horrible. Your sociopathic brother is terrorizing his entire house. Start documenting HS actions now. Video, record his abuse, his treatment of your parents, everything. This is really on your parents. They let this escalate to this point, but right now your sister's safety is the most urgent thing. Call CPS, or speak to your sister's caseworker if you can. I'm honestly pretty overwhelmed with the severity and urgency this situation seems to demand. You could try family counseling, but that is a long-term solution, and this seems to need a swifter response. Is there any way you can take custody of your sister, even temporarily? Call CPS and ask what is required of you to remove her from this abuse household, at least temporarily, until your folks can get the support, and the kick in the butt, that they need. Good luck! Exclamation mark. Okay, so it doesn't look like you're using a throwaway account. If your brother sees this, he's going to be angry, and he's going to escalate. Your life and your sister's life may be in jeopardy. It might be best if you call a trusted friend, someone whose parents you trust, and ask them to come pick you and your sister up immediately. See if you can do it without your parents and your brother noticing, because they'll be mad if they know you're doing this. They will try to stop you, but you will be doing the right thing. Try to put as much of this into motion as you can without them finding out. As soon as you're with your friend and their parents, call the police. Tell them everything your brother has done, and how your parents have failed to try to stop him. Be as detailed as possible. Don't delay. Your safety and your sister's safety depend on it. God bless. My boyfriend cancelled on me for New Year's Eve. It's 6 o'clock. I just got back from the store and we were supposed to spend the night together at his house celebrating. Now he's just cancelling because he doesn't feel like it. Either he's being lazy right now or he's lying and hanging out with his friends. He cancels on me a lot and he absolutely promised, pinky swore, it's dumb, he would not cancel on me tonight. I feel extremely hurt. I have nobody else to celebrate with and I really wanted to spend it with somebody I love and share a midnight kiss. Sounds like you'll be going into the New Year's looking for a man who actually wants you. If he loved you, he would prioritize you. I know it sucks and you probably still have a lot of strong feelings for him, otherwise you wouldn't be here. Does everything feel one-sided? Imagine you mushed together all of your emotions you've ever had while dating him. Are they mostly positive or mostly negative? I'm willing to bet mostly negative, especially the longer you've been dating him. And it doesn't get better. Don't fall into the sunk cost effect mindset. Use the new year as a fresh start, girl. You've got this. Throw him away 2020. Why are you with someone that treats you like this? I think tonight is less of an issue than this being something he does all the time. Crazy. How do I make my mother see it's no longer sibling squabbles, it's abuse and my sister needs professional help? Last night I 22F called my sister M13 to give her some recipes as she likes the food I cook and I no longer live at home. When I did, she was arguing with my other sister J14 over space on the couch. I tried to defuse the situation, asking what happened, said that I would speak to both of them to get both sides and we could try come to a compromise. Jay didn't want to talk to me, which I said was okay. Why I'm posting here is this: the more M spoke to me, the more and more aggressive Jay became towards her. What started as snippy shut the F up, which I know is not okay and I'm doing my best to work with Jay, quickly became get the F out of here. Get the F out. F you, stupid thing B. Among other things that were much worse. I had been trying to get them to reach a compromise so they could both sit on the couch, but once that started I told them, look, I know this is unfair, I know you shouldn't have to, but you need to leave and go up to your room. I know you're trying to prove a point, but for your safety I think you should go upstairs away from her. And once she tried to move Jay's foot so she could leave, Jay kicked M in the knee. This happened twice while I was on the phone. M shouted to please stop kicking me, You've kicked me like 10 times today, to which Jay said, shut the F up, I've only kicked you like 7 times. LSSM went upstairs crying and I stayed on the phone to her until she wanted to go to sleep. I choked back tears most of the call and told her we love her so much, to call me whenever she needed to, etc., and talked some silly stuff when she changed the topic. Where was our mother for all of this? In the other room, ignoring them. I called her today to tell her what happened and that enough is enough. Jay needs anger management and therapy, as does Em, to talk about this. She said yeah, I'll have a word with them today. I don't even think she will. Em had a bad experience with a counselor 2 years ago and doesn't want to go back, and Jay thinks therapy is quote thing stupid. I feel awful that I can't help more, but I'm doing all I can from here. I can't let them stay with me because they haven't been sticking to COVID guidelines, and my husband is high risk and we have a 9-month-old. That only makes me feel worse. I feel so helpless, I don't know how else to help. I'm trying to convince Em and Jay, but neither want to go and mother doesn't see it as a big deal. I don't want either of my sisters to end up seriously hurt before this problem is taken seriously. How can I convince my mother that Jay needs professional help and that Em likely does too because of Jay's behavior? If you've read this far, thank you so much. I appreciate any advice anybody can offer, as I really feel I've hit a wall, but I can't give up on my sisters. Up is so nice in the comments. Me and my brother used to be the same way. He would beat the shit out of me for such petty things, constantly call me names and degrade me. He'd tell me to just die or to kill myself. Now I started my fair share of fights with him, but there was no love. During sophomore year of high school I tried to commit suicide. The biggest driving force behind my decision was, I didn't feel loved at all. Not from my mom, and especially not from my brother. My mom ended up having to kick him out before I could come home from the psych hospital. So from my experience it's only going to get worse and they both need help ASAP. First off, I'm sorry you went through this and I hope you're doing better now. Nobody deserves this. Honestly, this is what I'm terrified of. I never want either of my sisters to feel that way ever. I make an effort to tell them I love them every other day, but I know when you're in a dark place words don't change how you feel. I want to hopefully stop this before it gets to that stage. Thank you for your reply, and again, I hope you're doing better now. To be brutally honest, there isn't really much you can do. I have 3 sisters. My oldest was born in 1985, next in 87, myself in 89, and younger born in 1991, so extremely close in age. We grew up sharing bedrooms in pairs, often switching as we grew too sick of each other. The fighting was savage. My parents gave up very quickly. As the third child, I have no memories of them stepping in or trying to break us up, so before I was old enough to remember they'd already stopped trying. My 2 oldest sisters fought the worst, often hurting each other quite seriously. When they became adults and the younger of the 2 got married, she cut off contact with my oldest sister for about 10 years. When she had my nephew 3 years ago, she decided she didn't want to deny him contact with any family, so they've been slowly speaking and seeing each other more, and in earnest they get on well now. We all do. I was always the least physical or the least manipulative, so I had the least disagreements with my sisters, but I clocked out of my home life for much of my teenage years. I connect well with my mum as an adult, but as a child I might as well have not existed. I've never connected with my dad and just stay away from him. Honestly, all 4 of us blame our parents for the difficulties in our relationships with each other. Maybe your sisters will turn out okay and figure things out as adults like we did, but they'll know what your mum did and how it wasn't okay. I don't know if your mum fully realizes this, but she sucks. Don't have kids if you don't want to parent them.